Yo, what's going on, everybody? We got another huge content drop, and we're going to be discussing whether or not this content drop was one, a W, and two, is this the one that has put SDS back on the right track? Before we get into it, though, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn those notifications on. Leave a like on the video, and in the comment section below, let me know what you thought about this content drop. If you love it, if you hate it, and just give me your thoughts, all right? Let's go ahead and get into the content drop. So before we get into it, make sure you hit me up on Twitter at pitching_rebel or through email pitchingrebel1@gmail.com if you like to learn how to make endless stubs. I'm sitting a little bit over 4 million stubs. That's because I know how to use the marketplace in order to make stubs. I do this every single year, make over $10,000 worth of stubs easily. Again, if you're tired of not knowing how to make stubs, hit me up. Hit me up on Twitter at pitching_rebel or email if you do not have Twitter, pitchingrebel1@gmail.com. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at the new content. Let's go over the XP reward path first. All right. We got the new Cornerstone Evolution cards. We have a Craig Kimbrell, Eric Davis, and then a Marcus Simeon. All right. So obviously you got to get those and you can do the missions. Eventually you could get their 92 overall diamonds. That being said, let's look at Simeon. 92 overall, primary second base with a shortstop secondary. He's going to have 88, 87 versus right, 93, 80 versus left, 105 clutch, 92 fielding with 79 speed. Is it a good card? No, not necessarily. Is it a terrible card? No, it's not a terrible card by any means, but there is a lot better cards at this point of the year for sure. Then we're going to have this Eric Davis, 82, 90 versus right, 90, 101 versus left, 90 clutch, 76 fielding with 92 speed. Again, is it a bad card? No. Is it a great card? No. Is it a playable card? I mean, if you play on Hall of Fame or below, it is probably playable. And it's a grind 99 card, so it is what it is. Gonna need it for next week's collection. Then we have this 92 overall Craig Kimbrell. He's got a 4-seam, a knuckle curve, and a sinker. 109 hit per 9, 102 K per 9, 125 pitching clutch. So great per 9s. We know that the relievers do not have a problem in the power creep. They are always, very good if they have some type of overall to them. Perks wise, it's kind of weird. He has a knuckle curve outlier, not a 4-seam or a sinker, but the knuckle curve has the one with the outlier. Does this card play? I don't think so. Even with that outlier on the knuckle curve, if he had a changeup, he could probably play, but it's not an awful card by any means. Definitely a card you could throw in your bullpen, if you don't have that many stubs and can't get the other good guys, but not like my top tier option by any means for sure. So those are the 3 new Cornerstone cards. All right, now let's look at the 135K XP reward in Adam Dunn. Milestone 534-foot bomb. Oh my goodness. Adam Dunn, we know, had insane power. So let's look at this card. Primary left field, first base, secondary. 98, 125 versus right. Insane versus righties. And then 79, 91 versus left. So not very good against lefties. Still decent power though. 92 clutch. The clutch isn't the greatest, but it's not the worst either. 66 fielding, 52 speed. So really, he's a DH. There's a lot better DH options, but you're going to need this card. You're going to get him anyway through the XP reward path. It's a free card. Not bad at all for a free card. I'll say that. Not bad at all. Then we do have the 4th inning bosses. We got 3 new bosses in Jeter, Hank Greenberg, and Nolan Ryan. Let's go over Hank Greenberg first, since he is a new legend into the game. All-star from 1938, primary first base, no secondaries. And he's going to end up having 94, 104 versus right, 90, 109 versus left, 95 clutch. So insane power, but the contact does lack behind. Clutch is better than the contact ratings by 1. It's, higher than his highest contact rating. And his fielding isn't the greatest, neither is his speed. At P5, 99, 109, 95, 114, 100 clutch. It's not an awful card. Is it a card that matches up with the other guys in the game? I mean, it's not terribly far off, honestly. Besides Gil Hodges, the other cards, yeah, not a bad card by any means. Perks wise, he's going to have a lot of them: homebody, day player, first pitch hitter, dead red, rally monkey, fighter, situational hitter, bad ball hitter, table setter. So, I mean, I'll give this card like a B. I'll give it a B for sure. Then we got Nolan Ryan, who I think is the second best boss out of these 3 bosses. And he's got 4-seam, 12-6 circle chain sinker. Gonna have outlier on the 4-seam as usual. 101 hit per 9, 102 K per 9, 108 pitching clutch. Really nice per 9s for a starter. One of the best, honestly, in the game right now for a starter. 112 stamina as well, but he does only have 55 walks per 9 and 65 control. We know that Nolan Ryan walked a ton of people. He usually doesn't have good control, and this card definitely doesn't have that. So yes, is he going to throw absolute gas, but he's also going to be pretty damn hard to control. So it's kind of a pick your poison type of thing when it comes to him. Then last but not least, and the card that I actually think is the best out of all the 3 cards is this All-Star Series Derek Jeter from 1999. No secondaries. 120 contact versus right, 108 versus left. Insane contact numbers. 80 power versus right and 82 power versus left. Very good power numbers as well. 120 clutch, 71 fielding, 72 speed. Honestly, Derek Jeter is one of the best shortstops in the game currently. At P5, he gets max contact versus right, 113 contact versus left, 85 power versus right, 87 versus left, and then max clutch. Sure, the defense will only be silver and the speed's going to end up at 77, so he's not terribly slow, but the hitting is really damn good. I will say that. Quirks wise, homebody, night player, first pitch hitter, unfazed, dead red, fighter, situation on the table setter. So some nice good quirks there. Jeter is by far easily, in my opinion, the best 4th inning boss. And this is an A card. I think he's an S tier shortstop now in the game for sure. So that's the new XP reward path. Now we know we got a new May Spotlight and the LaFino May Spotlight program. Let's go ahead and look at it. So we got this Ernie Clement, primary second base with a third base shortstop secondary, 90 overall, 80 55, 125 96 versus left, and then 101 clutch. Very good versus lefties and good clutch as well. It's just versus righties he's not very good at all. Has great fielding too, but again, not very good at all against righties. And we got this Noah Cameron, 4-seam cutter, circle change, 12-6 slider. Doesn't throw any of his pitches very hard. Doesn't have outlier, but he does have 98 hit per 9 and 102 pitch clutch. That is pretty high right now for starters currently in the game. 80 K per 9, also 80 walks per 9, 77 control. Yeah, not bad at all. This card for a 90 overall and a free card is a pretty good card, besides the fact he doesn't throw hard, but at least his per 9s are pretty good. Then we have this 91 overall Dennis Santana. He's got 101 hit per 9, pretty good. 99 pitch clutch, not bad at all. 95 K per 9, 93 walks per 9, 91 control, so very good control. 5 pitch mix for a reliever. Slider, 4-seam sinker, cutter combo, circle change. Good control on all his pitches, and then really good break on his pitch as well. His cutter's at 99, sinker at 94, circle change at 86, 4-seams at 99. But his primary pitch, which is weird, is his slider. It only has 73 breaks, so that's kind of weird that it's his primary pitch, and it doesn't have really good break. Besides that, all the other pitchers have good break and great control. Then we got this Miguel Vargas, primary third base with the first base, second base, left field secondaries. 93, 104, 71, 72, 90 clutch, 60 fielding, 76 speed. This card is not good at all, in my opinion. It's just not good. 92 overall Ryan O'Hearn, primary right field with the first base, left field secondary. Let's look at this. 113, 91. Very, very good versus righties right now. I would say elite for this point of the year. 115 contact versus left, so higher contact versus lefties. His problem is he doesn't have much power, 65 power versus left. And then 111 clutch. Contact is elite, clutch is elite, power against righties is very good. Just that power against lefties. 68 fielding with 66 speed. So not the greatest of outfielders. We'll get to silver defense at P2. He's not the greatest out there. I will say though, Ryan O'Hearn usually has a very elite swing. And then last but not least, we have the final reward of the program, James Wood. Let's look at this card right here. Primary left field with a center field and right field secondary. 103 contact versus right with 90 power versus right. That's elite. 112 contact versus left with 93 power versus left. So better against lefties, reverse splits kind of guy. That's elite. 125 clutch. That's extremely elite. 67 fielding with 78 speed. So not the best defender. He has decent speed though. We'll play silver defense at P3 for you in left field. I'll take that with the kind of hitting that this guy brings for you, man. At P5, 108, 95, 117, 98, and then the clutch doesn't move. Fielding will get up to silver at 72, and the speed up to 83. At least he has some speed to make up for the fielding. I mean, you can't complain about this. This is a grind 99 card. Just got to finish the program missions and moments, and you get a card that is probably the best primary left fielder hitting wise in the game currently. I can't lie. This card is insane. They did a great job with the James Wood. Then we have these Tops Now cards. 90 overall Dalton Rushing, 96 88, 93 82, 95 clutch, 76 fielding, 54 speed, primary catcher, first base, left field, right field secondaries. Honestly, not a bad card for a 90 overall. It's really not a bad card by any means. Alejandro Osuna, primary left field, center field, right field secondaries. 96 85 versus right, 88 67 versus left, 93 clutch, 81 fielding, 73 speed. Again, I can't say that this is a bad card at all for a 90 overall. This is a decent card. Denzel Clark, primary center field, left field, right field secondaries. 90 75, 87 65, 90 clutch, 90 fielding, and 99 speed. Another decent card. Just wish he had a little bit more power, but I mean, for the fielding and speed that he has, he's a pretty damn, pretty good hitting attributes, honestly. It's surprising that they were able to get that out of it, but not a bad card. And then last but not least, Cole Young, primary, second base, shortstop, secondary, 169 versus right, 90, 71 versus left, 95 clutch, 78 fielding, 77 speed. Another card that's a 90 overall that's not unusable by any means. So they're doing good. A lot of good content so far that we've gone over. Then we got this 92 overall Cody Clemens, primary, second base, with the first base, third base, left field, and right field secondaries. 107, 116 versus right. Absolutely righty killer. Insane attributes versus righties. 88, 65 versus left. Not very good against lefties. 108 clutch though. Insane clutch as well. 80 fielding, goal defense a second with 64 speed. This guy right here, against righties, the best hitting second baseman in the game, and you can platoon him. All right, you can use him as a platoon. You got 4 spots on the bench. Use one of them for second base as a platoon, and you're gonna have an insane hitting second baseman. Now, I've never used any Cody Clemens cards, so I don't know how good his swing is. But if he has a good swing, I would definitely use him as a platoon. The only problem is he is a little bit expensive, so gotta factor that in. And we got TJ Friddle, center field, primary, left field, right field, secondaries. 125, 92 versus right. Insane versus righties. 95, 56 versus left, and 111 clutch. So guts righties in the clutch. It is insane. Contact's even pretty good against lefties as a left-handed hitter. The problem is his power against lefties. 77 fielding with 51 speed. With that, he is not a center fielder in my opinion. He is a corner outfielder, and that's fine because he does have corner outfield positions there for you. So for this guy, he is a platoon bat, but he's a very good platoon bat. Randy Rodriguez, relief pitcher, 4-seam, slider, sinker, circle change. He does not have outlier on any of his pitches. He's going to have 120 hit per 9, 101 K per 9, and 101 pitching clutch. So very good per 9s. Control's not very good though. Look at the pitches. Yeah, that's not good. He does have insane pitch break though, 99 on the 4-seam and slider. But then the sinker and circle change actually don't have very good pitch break. So his primary 2 pitches do. Not so much for his last 2 pitches. Is he a good card? I mean, he's not a bad reliever by any means, but for the price tag, I wouldn't pay that. Nathan Eovaldi, splitter, 4-seam, curveball, cutter, and a slider. Quirks wise, only has break outlier. 95 hit per 9, 104 pitching clutch, 90 walks per 9, 88 control. So good control on that part. Yeah, Nathan Eovaldi for the price he is at is not worth it in my opinion. And then last but not least is his Junior Caminero. Primary third base, but he does have second base and shortstop secondary. So there you go. You could technically use these 2 guys, Cody Clemens and Junior, as platoon guys at second base. 93, 100 versus right, and then 97, 115 versus left. 110 clutch though, insane clutch, very nice. 64 fielding, so he has bronze defense at anywhere you put him. 48 speed, not very good speed. That being said, at P5 though, he gets up to 98, 105 versus right, 90, 102, 120 versus left, and 115 clutch. And Junior has an insane swing. Honestly, this is a guy that I'm going to be putting on my bench to be able to platoon at second base, whether I'm using Corey Seager or Cody Clemens. To be honest, I don't know yet. I would like to try that Cody card just to try him, but Junior will for sure be on my bench. So we just went over the program and the pack cards that are in the pack. There is no new chase pack, and there is no new headliner for today, so that's good there. Then let's go over Mr. Maine Lightning himself, Tariq Skubal. I think that the card or the pick was fine, but the per 9s are just not good in my opinion. 91 hit per 9, 86 K per 9, 93 walks per 9, and 90 pitching clutch. There's guys that are in this that are, like Eovaldi, even Noah Cameron has better hit per 9 and clutch than this card. Why? Like, this guy's the Lightning. He has to be better than what they gave him. He's just not that good in my opinion. Per 9 wise. Now the pitches are insane. Circle change, 4-seam, sinker, slider, knuckle curve, and guess what? They gave him outlier on his 4-seam because he did throw absolute gas in that one game. He threw the complete game. He had a pitch where the last pitch of the game was like 102.6. He had another one over 102. He was throwing absolute fuzz, so they gave him the outlier. Love to see that. How do you give a guy this kind of per 9 and he's the Lightning card? That just doesn't make any sense to me, but I guess it is what it is. Still has some decent per 9s at least, and he will be going in my rotation because he has that outlier. You know how Outlier Axe in GOAT difficulty, so he should still be very tough to hit. And then of course we got the May Retro Lightning Collection, which they did lower from the last one. So it's only collect 7 to get the first one. We got this 93 overall Jacob Wilson. He is very good. Primary shortstop, no secondaries, 109 contact versus right, 70 power versus right, and 125 contact versus left with 72 power versus left, 125 clutch, 70 fielding, 57 speed, silver defense at short, not much speed. But the hitting is very good. It's only he's lacking a little bit of power, but I still think he could play pretty freaking good, honestly. We'll get up to 114 contact versus right with 75 power and then 77 power versus left. Yeah, I think he could be very, very good. I don't know how good his swing is now. The attributes are really good, in my opinion. And then last but not least, we have our Retro Lightning Bryce Harper, who had gone crazy May 2015. We got a nice card. Right field, primary, center field, secondary. 110, 107 versus right, insane versus righties, 100, 93 versus left, can do the thing versus lefties, and then 112 clutch, 76 fielding with 57 speed. So he'll have silver defense without any parallel, and then at P4, once he gets to that 80 fielding, he will get gold defense out in right field. So that's nice to see. At P5, he'd end up at 115. At P5, he'd end up at 115, 112 versus right, and then 105, 98 versus left with 117 clutch. I think this card is insane. Probably as a primary right fielder has probably not the best hitting attributes. I would say that goes to Judge, but definitely up there top 3. I would say he's the second best primary right fielder hitting attribute. He is a paywall card. You can't complain though, because the James Wood, who could play right field as well, is in my opinion better than this Bryce Harper. All the way around, he is better than Bryce Harper hitting wise. So I don't think you could complain really that Bryce Harper's behind a paywall, on top of the fact that they lowered it to only 10 cards that you need instead of needing all the May Spotlight cards that were in packs. So take that for what it's worth. And last but not least, we do have Weekend Classics. So there is 2 new rewards. Let's go over the 2 new rewards. Number 1 is this Grady Sizemore. Milestone Grady Sizemore. 106, 85 versus right. 88, 87 versus left with 100 clutch. He does only have primary center field, no secondary. 78 fielding with 80 speed. In my opinion, he's not a great defensive center fielder. I think he'll play fine in the corner outfield positions, regardless of him not having a secondary there. And with P5, he ends up at 111, 90 versus right with 93 contact versus left and 92 power, and then 105 clutch. Remember, also, the fact that the Guardians boost, in my opinion, is the best boost. And if you use them on the Guardians boosted squad, he could be really good. You could get +5 everything if you're using both Bo Naylor, Andrew Miller, get +5 on every hitting category. Or if you're just using Andrew Miller, you can at least buff +5 to his contact and clutch. So you got to factor that in as well. To me, Grady Sizemore is not a bad card by any means. Then last but not least, we have this crazy Devin Williams card. Screwball, 4-seam slider, cutter, 125 hit per 9, 115 K per 9, 125 clutch. Yes, he doesn't have good walks per 9 or control, but who cares? He's going to make your PCI literally the smallest it could be. He's got a screwball, which we know how that acts, 4-seam slider, and a cutter. So he gets a slider and a cutter. I mean, this guy's insane. 99 pitch control on the screwball, by the way. 4-seam slider and cutter, not so good, but he does have 99 break on the 4-seam, 93 on the... He does have 99 break on the screwball, 93 on the 4-seam, 70 on the slider, and 67 on the cutter. But still, this card just is insane. We know that relievers, they don't believe in a power creep. They are just that much better than all the hitters, even though they're the same overalls. They still can get insane per 9s where they can still get insane attributes where it matters most for them. So there's that. But Devin Williams will be in my bullpen for sure once I get him. Anyways, all in all, I think that this content was a huge W. I think that they are listening by 1, that James Wood card. Number 2, dropping down the collection reward for the Retro Lightning from needing all cards to down to 10. I think they're definitely listening, and I know the last content drop on Wednesday was very bad. This one, in my opinion, is very, very good. So I gotta tip my cap to them, give them credit where credit is due. Just as much as I ranted on them on how bad Wednesdays was, I will give them their flowers for this one. This was a good content drop. So good job. Keep it up, please. We need it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn those notifications on. Leave a like on the video. And in the comment section below, let me know what you thought about today's content drop. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Love y'all. Peace.